God's grace and peace and welcome to you all. It's our midweek reflections during Holy Week here in Boothbay Harbor. It's Good Friday. The reading for today comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 15. At noon, the sky became extremely dark, and the darkness lasted 3 hours. And at 3 o'clock, Jesus groaned out of the depths, crying loudly, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And some of the bystanders who heard him said, "Listen, he's calling for Elijah." And someone ran off and soaked a sponge in sour wine and put it on a stick and gave it to him to drink, saying, "Let's see if Elijah comes to take him down." It's Good Friday. It's the day that perhaps many of us would rather just skip over and find our way quickly to Easter and lilies and joy and celebration, find our way to fancy hats and fancy dress and feasting and celebrating with family. It's the day that we might just want to skip over. But perhaps this year, perhaps this time of crisis has made us all too aware that we just can't. And this year we couldn't. And while there may be just a rush, as there is now, I feel it with you, to let's just get on with it. Let's get on to spring. Let's get on to resurrection. Let's get on to the way it used to be. Let's go back to the ways we remember. The Holy Week story reminds us that we only find our ways there through this and through this day. My God, why have you forsaken me? We've spoken it in different languages, said it in different ways, but it's been all around us. And some of us in our own way have cried it out this year and are crying it out now. It's been a hard time. We could name all the particular griefs of it all. We all could name and express in our own way what 530,000 deaths in this country of COVID-19 mean. What 2.5 million deaths of people throughout our world mean. Some of us could tell you the stories of what it means because they've not just been numbers, they've been people. They've been a mom, a dad, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent, a child, a neighbor, a friend. We could tell you what 6.4% unemployment really means. We could say it means Joe and Beth at our favorite restaurant down the street that closed this year. We could tell you our own story. We could tell you the stories of our neighbors and friends. We could be reminded of people's stories that we're hearing in the news that, well, we just never even recognized before. My God, why have you forsaken me? It's all around us. It's within some of us and has been in our own walk with anxiety, depression, fear, worry. It's there in our ache of not being able to hold and hug one another. It's grandparents missing, aching for missing holding their grandchildren. My God, why have you forsaken me? But the Holy Week story reminds us that the way to Easter, again, is not around the suffering, but it's through it. And what a gift it is that we have a story that takes us through how it really is, even what we sometimes would rather just skip over. And there is Jesus on the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me? And this year we could add our particular ways of saying that and hearing that and knowing that. And might we pause on this day just to remember the grief, the hurt that we are walking through and have. And the gift of this day is also that the story, the last word of Jesus, doesn't end there. But the last word of Jesus, a word of impossibility for all of us, and especially at some times, is out of my God, why have you forsaken me? Into the opening of your hands and the opening of your heart. Into your hands, O God, I commend my spirit. Into your hands, I commend my spirit. You know, it's true. It's been true in our communities. It's been true among us. It's been true for some of us at times that the swirl of my God, why have you forsaken me? The swirl of ache and grief and pain and anxiety and worry, well, it's just overwhelmed us. We've been caught in the swirl, perhaps today, caught in the swirl of it all. And I remember on those days being out on a little tiny boat when the seas got rough and the wind got fierce. And all I knew how to do, all I wanted to do was just to hold on to everything, to if only in that I'd see my way through. It took me a long time to learn, and I'm still learning, that when the seas get rough, when the emotions get loud, when the storm gets overwhelming, that the way through is the letting go. But it's the letting go of all of it. On that little boat, not just letting go of the main sheet, but letting go of the jib sheet as well. Letting go of the tiller. Letting go of everything. And then that little boat, heeling high in the storm and about to go over, filling with water, suddenly stops and turns up into the wind. God, show us the way. Show us the way through. From my God, Why have you forsaken me? Into the wonder and possibility, the imagination of God, into your hands, I commend my spirit. Will you pray with me? God, we are coming through times of clenched fists and hands, times of such anger and hurt, of such deep grief and pain, times when we have not been able to see or know your face among us, times we have felt so horribly alone. God, our prayers go out to all and to even ourselves, God, who have needed your healing and need your healing through these days. As we've been overwhelmed by anxiety, addiction, thoughts of suicide. God, it's all been among us. God, in the midst of these stormy days and on this Good Friday, help us not only to hear and acknowledge the pain, but to open our hands into the imagination of all that is you. For God, we live and move and have our very being in your hand. And so, God, for all of us, into your hands, we commend our spirits. Amen.